Hey, welcome. My name's Jarvis, and today I'm making my ears happy, part 2. So I've been living with these for about a week. Primarily Bluetooth for me. I wanted an easy, convenient way to be able to connect to my iPhone and listen to my music on the go. And then be able to do critical listening if I needed to. And I have to tell you, these are amazing. The amp in here is no noise. I don't hear any perceivable noise in the amp at all. The DAC seems pretty amazing. There's no tuning outside of what they did in hardware in the cup itself, the driver itself. There is an app coming. I don't have that app to be able to tune them further. Rumor has it that the ability to control the equalization of left and right will be independent, and there will be a type of hearing test that you can take to go through and measure your ears and have the performance adjusted per ear. So very excited about that. I'll give that a listen once that drops and play around with that. My listening this week has just been the raw driver, and I did do some comparisons between my Oppos, very similar in sound. My Oppos are well past the break-in, so I think the differences that I detected between the two are probably what Drop did to improve the response of the driver. That driver was already an amazing driver, and Drop has just tuned it to their specifications. On the Pandas, there is an amp by THX, and the two ways that you can use that amp and DAC are either the USB-C connection or the Bluetooth connection. Both will use that amp by THX. If you were to plug in a TRS cable and put this into a headphone amp, you're going to bypass that amp, which is actually really cool. It allows you to use these headphones as a test bed for headphone amps. Every headphone amp I plugged it into had its own sound signature, and that was more indicative of the headphone amp itself than the Pandas. If I bypassed that amp, everything sounded about 2 to 3 decibels louder, just straight driver. With the amp in use, whether that was via USB-C or the Bluetooth connection, everything was probably 2 to 3 decibels quieter. I tested that with a track that had some noise coming from the board during mixing and recording. I just turned the volume all the way up and played that track, both wired and wireless, and TRS and USB-C. And the only difference that I could detect between all of those connections was the amp itself is maybe a little quieter than plugged in direct to the driver. So let's talk a little bit about comfort. These, as far as the padding go, are very similar to my PM3s. It's very comfy, very soft, lots and lots of padding. The padding on these is brand new, so they're even more comfortable than my PM3s. They are fully over ear, which I showed you in my other video. The extension is just perfectly fine. Behind the button on my hat, I don't mind at all. It's really easy for me to not even think about these. I'll put them on my head, power them up. It immediately connects to my phone. I don't have to go into Bluetooth settings and repair all the time. The audio feedback in this is perfect. It tells you when it turns on, tells you when it's connected, tells you if the battery's going to die. So all of that is pretty intuitive, and I don't really have to think about that at all, which makes these super convenient. It has done everything that I was hoping to get from all the other things I've tried. Of the 500 that shipped earlier this last month, 10 or so had some issues during Powerup with audible noise coming from the THX amp. That's part of the reason why there's a holdup for 2 weeks. They're just going through another round of quality control before the next batch leaves. If you're watching this video, I presume you're doing some research to figure out if these are a good fit for you, or you've already ordered and you're waiting for them. So let's give you some close-up shots to tide you over while you wait. If you're waiting, rest assured, Drop has delivered. Just like any other product I've ordered from them, they have performed their typical magic, listened to the community, made improvements, and put out something amazing. Super, super happy with what I received. Well worth the wait.